Earlier, we were talking about how people are drinking too much or to try to get all that Resveratrol, or whatever it is.
Resveratrol.
Resveratrol, there you go. Trying to get Resveratrol into their systems. Not because of that, but overall, alcohol-related deaths are going up. In 2012, worldwide, 3.3 million deaths were attributed to the harmful use of alcohol, and consumption is on the increase. Personally, I think it's because not enough people are watching Packard Pokes At, and if they could come to the show, and then they won't need that alcohol, so that'll bring it all back down. Dave, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, so the studies have shown that, first off, men are more prone to higher mortality rates than women. 7.6% of deaths among men versus 4% of deaths among women worldwide, linked to excessive drinking. And it's important to note that this isn't all medical causes like cirrhosis or different things that could come directly medically from drinking, but this is car crashes, this is accidental deaths, this is drownings, things of that nature as well.
Also, they said that if this is also part of that is like alcohol-related pneumonia, because you brings your immune system down because the alcohol's affecting that.
Yeah, and who the World Health Organization did this study. They found that it's on the rise globally. The overall number of alcohol-related deaths rose from 2.5 million in the 2011 report. They found that 6.2% of all male deaths were related to alcohol compared to 1.1% of female deaths at that time. Mm-hmm. So obviously men are drinking more recklessly, perhaps. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that means they're drinking more or perhaps I don't know what would cause that. I don't want to really speculate without all the facts.
Right. It says here that 7.6% of the men's deaths and 4% of the women's were deaths out of that. Women need to try harder. You guys want to be equal. You need to try harder. I mean,
yeah, bring those numbers up. They're comparing a couple of different reports in this article.
Yeah.
They did find that out of all the countries in the world, currently, only 66 countries have national leadership that's developed policies to address pervasive alcohol abuse in their country. Mm-hmm. Such policies include taxes on alcohol, enforcing age restrictions, and implementing regulations to control the marketing of alcoholic beverages. Other places are starting public health campaigns to bring a greater awareness to alcohol abuse. But the greater question remains, why is it increasing? I mean, why are people becoming more reckless? Why are the deaths going up? I don't know, but it's certainly interesting that is occurring, and there should be more of a conversation going on about it.
Yeah, we absolutely should have a better conversation about this. All these deaths that are going up. I mean, I live in Wisconsin. We can't swing a dead cat in this city without hitting a bar. I mean, I could literally probably, well, I don't know if I'd be able to throw one that far, but if I could throw one, I could almost hit a baseball maybe that far, and I'm sure I could hit one real close by.
Well, I mean, in America alone, if you look at the percentages of adults who drink, it's in the upper end of the 90s. I mean, it's approaching 100% of adults are drinking at least somewhat, not necessarily all the time or whatever, but they are consuming alcohol.
Yeah.
It's something that people should be aware of. It's definitely socially accepted, especially in our country. Mm-hmm. But apparently around the world, I mean, globally, the numbers are rising globally.
Yes, they are.
That's what we know. That's what this can conclude. I don't know if we can speculate and get a whole lot more out of this, but certainly what we can say conclusively is that the mortality rate is increasing.
Yes, it's appalling that that's actually happening. Connie, your thoughts?
Well, what bothers me about the WHO's report is that it seems like it's more of the same on their ways to combat it. I mean, I think that having appropriate age for people to be able to start drinking and checking those things is fine. But it's just more taxation, increasing taxes on alcohol, limiting the availability, raising the age limit, regulating the marketing of alcohol, monitoring and now these last two this last one was really disturbing to me. They want to do monitoring and surveillance. I'm like, really? prohibition
Wow.
does not work. But what we need to do is we're not addressing the reasons why people drink. We've been making alcohol since we first started, growing grain.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that that's going away. But there's an intelligent way to drink, not to drink to get drunk, and not to drink to be incapacitated, and not to, to me, I just don't know why we're focusing on just restricting it. Why aren't we talking about it?
Right.
So yeah, I think that not to say this, but there's a smart way if you're going to have alcohol, not to eat it not to have it on an empty stomach. Have these conversations with our family, with each other, and there's social reasons. A lot of times people abuse alcohol because they're depressed, or because they're stressed, or there's bad, they can't see how they're going to change their situation. And all of these measures, all they're really going to do is harm the people who really they're drinking for those reasons.
Yes.
So, no, I didn't really like the WHO's report. I don't think it was looking at the right place. So
yeah, it says they were going to 140 countries that reported at least one such activity in the past 3 years. So there's a little bit.
Well, this is like the resveratrol. I feel like they've oversimplified. Mm-hmm. And when there's too many factors, and you're just saying, well, we think it's this.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, there's probably a lot more. This is a lot bigger thing than that. So
absolutely.